If not now, when? Growing up in a remote community where access to quality education didn't seem a concern to parents, I was bothered. I was moved from an uneducated background from parents to siblings, which resulted in me getting access to internship opportunities. While small than a few of my neighborhood friends couldn't as much compose essays, a backlash of their parents seeming reluctant to the need for education, which was further influenced by their inability to provide basic needs. I witnessed these friends of mine begin engaging into hard drugs rather early on, casually hanging out with street urchins, popularly known as agberos, and having had too much stories of their cliche endings these former friends were geared towards. I knew I needed to do something. I asked myself this question: if I could access internship opportunities, if I could access trainings, why can't the world access these skills? At age 13, officially becoming a teenager, and I haven't been an inquisitive child, I began carrying out research, pursuing several web pages on Google, just to learn if there was a concrete reason as to why this seemed a norm, why education wasn't a priority on the minds of most poor parents, and how big an issue it is. I was overwhelmed to find out that an estimated 10.5 million children have little or no access to quality education in Nigeria, and some 260 million globally do not go to school worldwide. That's a pool of the next generation of leaders. That's a pool of the next potential Bill Gates. That's a pool of the next Mark Zuckerberg. With these figures outstanding, definitely shocking, it dawned on me one of the reasons why unemployment is a prevalent issue in my community and country at large. With new governments promising quality education but never delivering, I couldn't hold the question once again: if not now, when? As the core of my research couldn't yield any self-implementable and sustainable means of guaranteeing quality education as a 13-year-old, after a year still digesting the harsh reality and going to school, I continued the research. Now I'm more matured, having asked my parents tons of questions. I delved into learning the root of the problem, and I found out that if I really want to curb this issue, I must design sustainable and implementable structures to curb this issue, and empowerment was the next way. I started my organization called Teens World Empowerment, which is aimed at eradicating lack of quality education among youth from diverse communities and countries. Thinking of a way I could tackle the issue of lack of quality education, I looked at different ideas like donating, paying school fees of children who are out of school and all. I reached out to several people just to find out what I could do. And the questions I was asked are: is this idea sustainable? I couldn't give a response. I went back home and looked into sustainability of paying school fees for students, and I found that if I implement any of my initial ideas without available sponsors or grants, it will be back to base for most beneficiaries, and yet the most efficient and sustainable way to mitigate unemployment amongst youth and soft skill acquisition seem the most efficient means. According to the World Economic Forum, most of the skills needed for the 21st century of work are not easily accessible but do not require degrees. I knew I needed to do something. I knew I needed to create a platform where digital skills are accessible to young people. Teens World Empowerment has empowered thousands of young people across 14 countries of the world. In the next 3 years, I envision a world where sustainability is key and synergy is the mantra. I'll be sure I have effectively created change when I have built an army of empowered youth who are building their communities and disrupting economies for good. Through my initiative, I hope to have created an institution that trains and empowers young people for global impact.